Well, the end of May 2022, over Memorial Day weekend, we decided to fly from Charlotte to Boston to visit Cape Cod and Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket, and that entire community. Now, we will do a few videos showing our exploration of Cape Cod and also Nantucket, where we rode bicycles around, and then we did a guided tour of Martha's Vineyard and also explored some of Cape Cod later on. But first, when we flew into Boston, we decided, after we rented the car, we decided to visit JFK Presidential Library. So that's what this video is going to be about. Friday, May 27 in Boston. John F. Kennedy Presidential Library and Museum. Look at the water on the harbor. Mask required.
Film here, and I hope you all have a great one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we probably just need one of these, do you think, Craig? You don't need your own, do you?
No, I don't need one.
We'll just use one of these then.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Young Jack.
Oh, here, why don't you hold this? I'm going to run the
Oh, okay. Hmm. Nine children.
The doors for Theater 1 will be opening in 30 seconds.
This is sailboat.
Please stand back. The doors for Theater 1 are open.
Oh, babe. I'll go get us a seat. Nice little theater.
We hold fast to the cliches of our forebears. We subject all facts to a prefabricated set of interpretations. We enjoy the comfort of opinion without the discomfort of thought. Mythology distracts us everywhere, for the great enemy of the truth is very often not the lie, deliberate, contrived, and dishonest, but the myth, persistent, persuasive, and unrealistic. House without it being some rigid authority, and I think my father supplied that, but not unnecessarily so, and I think it did us all good. I think I've always was interested in history and have spent a lot of time on it, and even at that time was particularly interested in it. My father was then working for the government as chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission under President Roosevelt, and later as chairman of the Maritime Commission. and therefore there was a great atmosphere of government and politics in my house, but I never thought at that time of going into it.
In 1938, Joseph Kennedy takes up a third and most challenging post in the service of his country. At the White House on a day in February, he is sworn in by Supreme Court Justice Stanley Reed as American Ambassador to Great Britain. Later that same month, Ambassador Kennedy is on his way, bound for a restless, troubled, and apprehensive Europe.
The unprovoked and dastardly attack by Japan on Sunday, December 7, 1941, a state of war has existed between the United States and the Japanese Empire. Well, we were involved in the defense of first of the Solomon Islands generally, and the New Georgia, the Russell Islands, and the campaigns near Guadalcanal in an attempt to prevent the Japanese from supplying their bases where they had units of troops in all those islands. Well, our PT boat was sunk by a Japanese destroyer. Well, we drifted around for a day or so, and then we moved from island to island, and then finally about 9 or 10 days later we ran into a native, and we gave him a coconut, and he took it back to our base, and they came finally and got us.
I realized the tragic significance of the atomic bomb. Having found the atomic bomb, we have used it. We shall continue to use it until we completely destroy Japan's power to make war.
When I first went into Congress in 1946, I represented a district that was very poor in Massachusetts. We had many problems, housing, many families were in need of assistance, and therefore my viewpoint on the necessity for social legislation came really pragmatically, through just observation.
Our distinguished guest for this evening is the Honorable John F. Kennedy, United States Representative from Massachusetts.
Mr. Kennedy, I believe you visited the Middle East today.
Well, I think that there's two reasons. In the first place, all of these countries, stretching from French North Africa to the South China Sea, French Indochina, all of these countries have been or still are under the domination of Western powers, the so-called white powers. And there, therefore, is a heritage of animosity and hatred directed against the West, and as we are the strongest of the Western powers, we all add to a great deal of that. Secondly, these people live on a marginal level. Their standard of living is very low. Most of them are illiterate. And they have this past history of Western exploitation. The communists, or at least the Russians, have not had a comparable colonial experience in this area. They move among the people and say, how could you be worse off than you now are? Come with us and you might be better off. It's compounded by the fact that in some of these countries they have native oligarchies who are corrupt and are not concerned about the welfare of the people. All these things compound in these difficult days make for a fertile field for communist infiltration and weakness for the West.
Our audience, of course.
I don't think that youth is any presumption of vitality, or old age any presumption of wisdom. It really, once again, it seems to me, depends on the competence of the individual. We've had an extremely great number of talented younger men in the life of this country, from Jefferson and Hamilton and all the rest. And we've had a lot of very talented older men. I would really think, once again, it comes down to the quality of the individual.
How you describe that, but anyway, I was very interested.
The wedding of Senator John F. Kennedy recalls Newport's one-time social grandeur. Former Ambassador and Mrs. Joseph Kennedy, parents of the groom, are among the personalities on hand to make this the top society wedding of the year. For the spectators outside the church, it's a real storybook wedding. A radiant bride, the former Jacqueline Bouvier, and a handsome groom. With a pretty wife and a politically rising star, the future seems bright for the junior senator from Massachusetts.
perhaps I could use the word inspirational to you? Well, I do have something here. It was written by Alan Seagull, who, as you remember, was born in New York and fought in the Foreign Legion and was killed in the First World War in 1916.
Yes.
He wrote that famous poem, I Have a Rendezvous with Death. And just before he died, he wrote a letter home to his mother, which I think has good advice for all of us. He said, "Whether I am on the winning or losing side is not the point with me. It is being on the side where my sympathies lie that matters. Success in life means doing that thing than which nothing else conceivable seems more noble or satisfying or remunerative, and then being ready to see it through to the end."
Next nominee and our next President of the United States, Admiral T. Stevenson.
How would you like to be Vice President with him?
Well, I'd be honored, of course, if chosen, but I've always had my doubts whether I'd ever be chosen.
K-E-double-N-E-D-Y. The Kennedy Campaign Organization has named its battleground for the presidential nomination, the primary. A substantial victory for Kennedy in Wisconsin, and the experts say his bandwagon is on its way.
And I can assure you that if I'm successful here, I shall go to Los Angeles in hopes of being nominated. And if I am nominated, I shall go to the American people. I shall go to them discussing the great and serious business that faces the American people in this difficult period.
Great Senator from the state of Massachusetts, John F. Kennedy.
Mr. Chairman, Wyoming vote will make the majority. Senator Kennedy.
In many ways, the most important election in the history of this country. All of us in this room and across the country are united together in our devotion to this country. We wish to keep it strong and we wish to keep it free. It requires, at this critical time, the best of all of us. And I can assure all of you here who have reposed this confidence in me that I will be worthy of your trust. We will carry the fight to the people in the fall, and we shall win.
Baptismal gown.
No frontier is here, whether we seek it or not. For I believe that the times require imagination and courage and perseverance. I'm asking each of you to be pioneers of that new frontier. I call it to the young at heart, regardless of age, to the stout in spirit, regardless of party.
Politics to get the Southern vote.
They make a serious mistake because they invite communist aggression. Only strength and firmness can keep the peace.
Vote for Nixon and Lodge, November 8th.
Henry Cabot Lodge.
Do you believe America's world prestige is at an all-time high? Then vote Nixon.
Yeah.
But if you believe America's world prestige has gone downhill in these 8 Republican years, that new leadership is needed to make America first again, then vote for the man who faces up to these facts and will.
That's why I picked Johnson.
Like Kamala Harris with Biden.
I guess. Campaign headquarters. Yeah. Good old days.
If I were 21, I'd vote for Kamala. Did you have to be 21 then?
Yeah, but then they changed it to 18 now.
Which is stupid. Like an 18-year-old knows what they're doing.
If you were president in January, would go about paying the bill for all this. Does this mean I did not advocate reducing the federal debt because I don't believe that you're going to be able to reduce the federal debt very much.
It is essential that a man who's president of this country certainly stand for every program that will mean for growth. And I stand for program.
I just want one of those cameras.
To make a kind of forecast that the mathematicians here would like to stand upon. We'll take a shot at it. The first forecast
Kennedy
we
won
can
South
make is
Carolina.
1% of the nation's precincts reporting. The trend indicates that Richard M. Nixon will be elected tonight.
Now let's take a look around the country from Massachusetts to California, where our remote units are standing by to bring you reports from the candidates themselves as they watch these returns. First, let's go to Hyannisport, Massachusetts, the Kennedy headquarters tonight at Charles Blunt Frank. His wife, his mother and father, his brothers and sisters are all with him following the returns on. But it is here.
43.
The faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor, whereby our country and all who serve it, and the glow from that fire, improving like the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
From today.
Yeah.
My fellow citizens of the world, ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man.
Nope. That's changed a lot.
I think that you are citizens of America or citizens of the world. Ask the lucky, same high standing of faith and sacrifice which we have for you. But here on earth, on earth,
But 2.5 years later, showed 51%.
It looks like some furniture I had one time, eh? Marble tops.
Yeah.
Marble. There's the gong.
Why I'm optimistic about the outcome of this. Stuff that's been reported one of your favorite sports. I like it. I just didn't think I was going to play golf again until my trip to the office did something, so I enjoyed it. Yeah.
That your brother said recently on television that after seeing the cares of office on you, that he wasn't sure he'd ever be interested in being the president. I wonder if you could tell us whether, if you had to do over again, you would work for the presidency and whether you can recommend the job to others.
Well, the answer is, the first is yes, and the second is no. I don't recommend it to others. These are why.
Good question. Agents of Dr. Gallup. I ask people this question. Do you think the Kennedy administration is pushing integration too fast or not fast enough? 50% replied that they thought you were pushing too fast. Would you comment?
No, I think probably he's accurate. The only thing, the fact of the matter is, this is not a matter on which you can take the temperature every week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, depending on what the newspaper headlines must be. I think you must make a judgment about the movement of a great historical event which is taking place in this country after a period of time. You judged 1863 after a good many years, its full effect. I think we will stand on that. And therefore I was surprised that there wasn't greater opposition. I think we're going in about the right tempo.
and the air shattered by the testing of a satellite. C-1 booster rocket, many times as powerful as the Atlas which launched John Glenn. To be sure, we are behind, and will be behind for some time. You, but you really question what kind of country we have, what kind of people we are.
So he actually started the Peace Corps, eh? Yeah.
And you can impress them with your commitment to freedom, to the advancement of the interests of everywhere. The influence may be far-reaching and will go far beyond the immediate day-to-day tasks that you may do in the months that are ahead. Thank you.
Well, when they had Russia was putting, Khrushchev was putting missiles in Cuba.
To bomb us.
Yeah.
Oh.
As a threat to us, anyway. Well, Mrs. Khrushchev and Jacqueline Kennedy. I think Khrushchev liked her. Compared to his wife, I'm sure he did.
Look at her, look at her statement. After sitting next to Abbott, it's like sitting next to Abbott and Costello.
Something to get through that dinner.
Wow. Diamonds, emeralds, and rubies. A purse.
Really?
Man. I don't even know. Robert Frost.
Robert Frost.
Oh my gosh.
Huh.
Wow. She seems, her face just lights up when it has to do with books and the arts.
Yeah. Babe, a familiar chair from Paris. First lady's consideration.
Different kind of legs.
Yeah.
More than in many other fields.
It just passed now, but it was the Hyannis Museum. There's another J.F.K. museum.
Yeah. Yeah. 2,000 Courage Award. Eh?
It all goes back to the space.
Part of the wall.
Yeah, Berlin Wall. Man.
That wasn't in the letter we received, was it? No. I read it pretty carefully. There's one deal in the letter, now we got a different deal. How can we negotiate with somebody and change the deal before we get a chance to reply and announce it publicly? The deal before we receive it.
And the United States so far separated in their beliefs. And we put the nuclear equation into that struggle. One mistake can make this whole thing blow up. That's what makes this such a dangerous time that we must proceed with firmness and also with the best information we can get and also with care.
You ever seen this? Mm-hmm.
Kids playing in his office.
Yeah. Hmm?
This is the portrait we all remember. A portrait of an American family. But a very special American family. The family of the 35th President of the United States. People of America knew their first family well.
Her jammies.
Her mom's shoes.
With his other responsibilities, he always took time to delight in his children.
Yeah. It was certainly popular.
Trading card.
What he thinks about it. Yep.
Sad, only one of the four is still alive. One of the five. Actually, have that other little baby.
Yeah. Oops.
Everywhere for this Girls' Day holiday, I realized that I wanted to bring these dolls back to Japan and bring them home. I think it's wonderful to celebrate girls, and I think it's wonderful for girls to
She's
feel
3 years older than me. I don't know when this was filmed, but.
Huh?
Is this what I have to look forward to in 2 years?
Well, yeah. Boston Harbor's out there. Nice sayings everywhere. Look at the American flag.
Wow.
This is impressive here.
How come this is a half staff?
Because of those class of students that got killed.
Oh.
The president Biden ordered all the flags to half staff. Boat. Museum Cafe. Do not enter.
Three, they said.
Oh, there's the gift store. Well, how about that? You can buy a replica for $75.
75?
Yeah.
The one way you can get Grammy $1 class to do something is starts with the will of one witch trying to get her to do something, like how by sending her a letter saying that she's explicitly not to. Alright, 636. What's the phone stuff? And we'll get back. Okay. Where you got one? One that's not there.
And nice jackets. $160.
I know.
I guess it's not too bad.
It's
Hmm?
an establishment book too. Literally the God of Luck play thing in a game together.
Okay, we're back through the front.